Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and yes, I'm finally back after about 10 or 12 days. I was super busy over the past week and a half with exams and Christmas and some family stuff as well. But I should be back to my regular schedule very soon, if not tomorrow. But I'm going to start it off with this very epic battle in Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. This is a 3 versus 2, so it's going to be very difficult for the defenders to win. And as you can see, one of the attackers, which is myself, is actually a navy that is coming into support. And I just want to say a big thank you for you guys as well, because I have noticed that in my absence for about 12 days, I think when I left, I was at around 605 subscribers, and I've come back today to take a look at my channel, and I have over 650 subscribers. So I'm super stoked that you guys are liking the content. A couple of you guys have been asking for some more Third Age content as well, and I do have another battle replay submitted by John Wick, and another battle submitted, I think a siege battle submitted by Lazy Couch Gamer, which I will get to very soon. But enough of that, let's get into this battle. It's good to be back. Might be a little rusty in the commentary just till I kind of get back into the swing of things. But let's take a look at the army compositions before we get the battle started. The battle is kind of underway. As you can see, the Despotate of Epirus, actually, which is played by Hamdog CDXX, is already starting to get some really nice cycle charges on the Pavis Bergman, and it looks like he's sending forward some Anglo-Varangioi as well. So let's go ahead and put this onto slow motion, because it does look like it's taking off quite quickly. We've got the Emperor's Hairchild pulling back into the town center to stay away from these very elite Genoese nobles from Gearhawk as well. So yeah, let's take a look at the army comps. So we've got 2 attackers by land and 1 by sea. So this is Hamdog's army over on this side. So he's got a lot of these Epirite Guard here, which are pretty sweet. They're like a javelin unit, but also pretty heavily armored. It's nice to see the Despotate of Epirus. Rarely anybody plays them. And then way over here, he's got some heavy infantry as well that are kind of just being guarded by the buildings surrounding them so that they don't get fired upon by archers. And we already saw the... oh, he's got some Italian mercenaries in with the Anglo-Varangioi, and another good cycle charge by the Genoese nobles of Gearhawk on the other flank. He's also pushing forward some of these Scutatoi of the High Period. And then he's got some cavalry scattered in and about. He's got some Dynatoi in the trees. And he's got a little kind of beach landing resistance over here as well that will probably lend some support to my ships as they move in. But he's got some more heavy infantry on this side. He's got some more Scutatoi. More Epirite Guard as well. Again, looking really awesome. I like these guys. They're really heavy skirmishers. And then we've got some more of the Italian mercenaries over here. Classic kind of Bill polearm units, tier 3. So they are very elite. And I forgot to look way over here at his general. I think these are more Italian mercenaries. Yes, they are. And his general is way over here. Whoops. With the Emperor's bodyguard of the late period. And that's him there, looking very awesome. So that is Hamdog's force. Let's jump over here to Gearhawk's force, which is currently doing a number on the Poland dismounted knights of the Kingdom of Jerusalem. The Crusader Armati also looking pretty depleted. So Gearhawk is actually, I think as of January of this year, so about a year now, he's an active modder in Medieval Kingdoms 1212, which is really cool. But yeah, actually his Genoese nobles are getting destroyed now that the Poland Knights have kind of formed up. But he's got some Lancery of the late period fighting in the front lines. These are very elite spears. They do very well in kind of prolonged combat. And then what do we got over here? We got some Pavis crossbowmen, got some Spadaccini, some more Spadaccinis, got some Piscieri as well, tier 3 pikemen. They are very elite. And I think that's about it for his force. He's got his general over here, the general's bodyguard of the late period, and some more Pavis crossbows. And he's got some Lancieri and Spadaccini over on this flank. And which one would the general be? Probably this guy with the plume here and the golden mask. So that is Gearhawk's general. He's kind of tucked in behind the fence so that he's kind of safe from any of the enemy fire that could come down. And then let's go ahead and look at the defenders. So the Crusader defender is where did the Armenians go? And like I said, he's got his Crusader Armati over here. He's got his dismounted Poland Knights, which we can check out. Looking pretty sweet. And what does he have over here? He's got some Genoese Spearmen. Then we got the Holy Roman Empire, who's played by Hohen Master, so we'll kind of just look at their armies all mixed in. But the Holy Roman Empire bringing a lot of these Pavi spears. Then we got some dismounted Fratres Milites Templi, which I don't know if they're a French unit or an Italian unit. I think they would probably be a French unit. Milite, I think, is French. I'm not exactly sure. But he's pulling back some more of his troops over to this flank. The King of Jerusalem also bringing a lot of Hospitaller Heavy Caravan. These are really good crossbows. And he's got some gunners as well. The Emperor's Hairchild is over here. The General, we got some of the Pavis Ambruzice. Looks like they're all forming up on the walls. And then the King of Jerusalem and Cyprus is over here as well. And he would be this gentleman right here. Looking very glorious. And what else do they have? I think they got some Assoldner. Each of them were allowed to bring an art, so one has a bombard and one has a mortar. And then we've got some, yeah, the Ecochet Footmen. And we have kind of a resistance here for my forces as well. We got some of the Crusader Armati of the High Period. And we got some Landsknecht over here as well. I'm trying to target the Landsknecht with my bombard ships. I think that's what they're called. Well, catapult ships. Anyways, finally looking at my forces. I've got my forces kind of scattered all over the place. As you can see, I'm definitely not a seafaring YouTuber for sure. I really struggled to kind of line up my archers in the gaps here in the ship, in the I don't know what you would call this, the little dock area, I guess. But I've got 4 units of these archer marines, and then 2 units of the catapult ships. And then my main force is in behind here, so I've got 4 units of the mercenary Italian Marine Armati. And then I have 4 units of... Or actually, do I have more of these guys? I think all of these are the same. Yes, they are. So I have like 8 units of these Guard Marines. These guys are pretty elite. My whole force is tier 1 though, so they could definitely do a lot of damage to me. But there's my Guard Marines looking very awesome, waiting for the call in. And then my general way over here is a Varangian Guard unit. So they got the heavy axes and everything as well. But again, tier 1. So the rules were that I had to wait until the actual main battle had begun before I can move in to start the bombardment. And as you can see, the bombardment, or the fighting, is well underway. Let's go ahead and put this to play. It's actually not a really long battle. It seemed to be longer when we were actually fighting it. But if you guys are interested in kind of having me like leave annotations as to when the army comps are finished and the battle begins, I can definitely do that for you as well. But yeah, looks like the Epirites are trying to be sneaky and get through this little choke point here, but that just opened them up to a lot of archer fire, which is not good. You can see that they're actually starting to waver, the Anglo-Varangioi. A unit of heavy infantry has been pushed into the gap to hold, but the Kingdom of Jerusalem is sending forward some of his Poland Knights as well to aid the Assoldner of the early period that have broken. And I'm not sure if he's going to try to sneak through the gap again, but I don't think it's worth it because the Hospitaller Heavy Caravan right in behind here is just firing down on the poor Epirite soldiers. It looks like he's disengaged a little bit, but he may be pushing back in. And how are the Genoese doing over here? Quite well, I'd say. He's losing a lot of his cavalry, but I think at this point it's done its job. Gearhawk has really used it quite effectively to get in behind enemy units and cause some morale penalties. But that is a nice shot there. You can see that the 2 opposing sides have pikes and spears. There's no way that those spears are broken, though. Yeah, he's just pulling back from that engagement. I guess he doesn't favor it as as much as I thought he would have. His pikes are actually losing more than the Poland Knights are, which are only tier 2. These are tier 3. So yeah, definitely may have been a better option to disengage. Over here, he's doing much better, though, against these spears. The pikes always seem to do a much better job against spears. Just because I can kind of hold them at bay and then pick them apart as they try to move in between the pike wall. And yes, the towers have fallen. I'm really trying to help out Gearhawk on this flank by using my catapult to break the towers. You can see I took down one right next to this unit here. And I think I was going after this other one here, yes, which just collapsed. Because the Epirites, again, having a lot of trouble over here against the Ecochet footmen. I think that that's why a lot of people really don't play them that often, because they're quite underpowered. I could correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't think I've ever played them, but just kind of looking at these engagements here, Epirus always seems to kind of come out as the underdog, especially in this choke point fighting. The Ecochet footmen are only tier 2, and they're fighting like 3 units from Epirus here, and they're still having a lot of trouble. Yeah, here comes some, I'm trying to help out Hamdog here. Getting a lot of friendly fire, though. I think I was trying to manual aim that catapult, but I was just not doing a good job at all. And it looks like we got some Lanchnet as well that is pushed forwards. Let's go ahead and put this to slow motion here. Because I've got my mercenary Italian armati that are starting to land on the beaches. And I actually pulled them back because I'm not sure if the Crusader player was noticing, and he didn't really engage, or he wanted to stay in his shield wall. So what I've done is I pulled back, and I want to be able to use these Pila to my advantage. And here we go. Yeah, just throwing our Pila in, really destroying this defense. Oh, that is a tough sight to see if you are rooting for the defenders. Now, the defenders, they have a lot of work ahead of them. If we had looked at the balance of power, it was definitely in our favor from the very beginning. And we actually started with about 1,600 men more than they did. So that's just a substantial increase. And I don't even know if we really balanced the funds. I think we kept it kind of the way it was. So we would probably get 20k per person or something, or 18k, but that would drop them down to 12k. So it's really going to be a tough fight for the defenders. And yeah, I've just destroyed this center unit of Crusader Armati with my Pila, and now I'm going to pull them off to either side so that I can push in my next couple units, because as you can see, I'm pushing my next 2 units of the Crusader Armati, or the Italian Armati, into the docks to land. And how are we doing over here? Actually, Gearhawk doing really well, getting his crossbows right into the center. Well, not into the center, but he's pushing into the streets rather effectively. And these poor spears are actually going to be surrounded. And funnily enough, actually, these are Genoese spearmen, and Gearhawk is playing as the Republic of Genoa. So I think that they're very happy to destroy these traitors and get them off the battlefield. And this is an excellent position for the pikemen, getting right in behind the spears. This is where they're going to do the most possible damage. Meanwhile, the other Genoese spears in the front, they're just kind of holding these spears and not really trying to get any kills. They're just leaving that to the pikemen. Go ahead and put this back on play so we can hear some of the battle sounds. Yeah, the pikes are just pushing them. And it looks like the morale was enough to just break them. So well done there by Gearhawk. Let's go and take a look at how Hamdog is faring. He's using his Epirite Guard to pick apart the Poland Knights over here. And he does have some of his Italian mercenaries left. But a lot of his troops were lost trying to conquer this side of the walls. Or the streets. He does have some more men over on this side. Again, you can see, yeah, the Crusader Armati have now just pushed in to attack my Crusader Armati that are pushing in, but the damage is pretty much done at this point. This center unit is really, really on its last legs, and I think that I should be pushing forward some more infantry very soon. I'm trying to get my archers out of the way. I've got most of them landed over here on this side, and I'm just trying to fire over and into the flanks of the defense. Yeah, and we have conquered the center very, very quickly, so the docks are basically mine. So now I'm able to really push forward some more troops into the center of the city and maybe flank around some of the units that are caught in the streets. Well, we've got some more of these, what are these here, actually? They're not, yeah, they're the Milites Templi. So they're gonna make short work of my soldiers. They're pretty weak. But I am focusing them with my archers as best as possible. See in the front lines here. Yeah, these guys are so much more heavily armored than my guys. They're just wearing like padded armor. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I got a good Pila throw into the side of those Templi though. And here comes Hamdog. He's got some of his Dynatoi as well, which I kind of pushed into the side of the Milites to allow the Dynatoi to pass. And I think that the Holy Roman Empire player thought he was going to go into the Ecochet Footmen, but he's actually charged right into the backs of these Crusader Armati. So that's also going to cause them to break very soon. You can see that the Milites Templi are also breaking, and then he's quickly cycle charged back into the Ecochet Footmen. And actually getting a pretty solid charge, killing about 18 men there, which isn't bad. They really didn't have a lot of room. But yeah, so this whole defense is completely cracked. But the defenders have really made us pay for it. We've lost about 2,000 men. However, they've also lost about 2,000. And I would start to be pulling this Landschnet and these Ecochet Footmen back to the center. I would really not try to hold this position any longer. Over here, it looks like Epirus is finally seeming to gain the upper hand. They've broken the Ecochet Footmen there. But we've still got the Landschnet, the very elite Holy Roman Pikes that are still holding back Epirus with everything that they've got. Because it's basically do or die in this situation. Oh, and it looks like he's going to try and just get them out of there as quickly as possible. I think he sees that the Dynatoi are coming to flank around. Whoops. I don't know if he's going to try and get a really quick charge into there before. Yeah, they don't even put down their pikes. So really good charge into the Landschnet, and then just charging in with the Anglo Varangioi, and more Dynatoi as well. So yeah, unfortunately that Landschnet was just pulled back a little bit too late. Over here we've got my my Italian Marines trying to take on this Landschnet, but they are just getting mowed down. Again, my units are only tier 1, so when they come up against like very heavily armored pike units like this, it's basically GG for my men. You can see like all 4 of my units are basically turning around and fleeing the battlefield there. I don't know if we have some other soldiers coming in. No, it's a couple of units of the Landschnet are getting behind enemy lines, but I think that they're completely broken. And I'm starting to funnel more men into the ports. So I've got my Guard Marines coming in now. And I've also landed a lot of my Guard Marines over on this flank. So we can get a nice shot of that happening. Always looking for a good screenshot. Very nice. So yeah, I figured that it would be a little bit too slow for me to try and move my soldiers, 2 by 2 into the port section in the center. Plus, we've already broken through quite effectively into the center anyways. So I'm just going to land most of my soldiers on either wing and then support Hamdog on the right and Gearhawk on the left-hand side there. But anyways, we're all done there. We can take a look at what's going on in the battle. There's only 9 minutes left. Again, the balance of power is really kind of stuck in our favor. But I really admire the defenders because this is a near impossible task, and they're really making us pay for every street that we conquer. And Gearhawk actually looks like he has most of his forces still left. Hamdog really suffering there just because his troops didn't really have any answer to the pikemen. But my soldiers, I think I'm down to about half strength as well, I would say. Maybe a little bit more than half. Just because, again, same as Hamdog, I really don't have an answer against all of these pikemen. And, yeah, this Hospitaller caravan is just having a heyday against my very lightly armored Marines. And you can see that one of the units from the enemy actually stopped me so that the Hospitaller caravan could fire a couple more volleys in. I think I actually have a unit of Guard Marines in there. Oh, I've got my Archer Marines in there. They must have used up most of their ammo. Yes, they have. But here come my Guard Marines. I've got 2 units that are coming in, and I'm going to try and push right for the center because the Anglo-Varangioi are just attacking the Pavis Bergamen. But wow, their numbers are dropping quickly due to the fact that the Hospitaller caravan is probably focusing right into the backs. I love the armor, though, of Epirus. Like, it's really nice to see. Like, some of them are wearing, like, scaled armor. Others kind of got, like, a plate and padded mix. Oh, there we go. The King of Jerusalem and Cyprus actually getting a nice cycle charge there into the back of the Anglo-Varangioi, and that is actually going to break them from the battlefield. And it looks like he's going to escape just in time. He's having to send forward more reinforcements, though, just to get his general out of there alive. And my Guard Marines, one of them is already down to half health at this point, just due to the fact of those archers and their relentless fire. And it looks like we're pulling back some of the Holy Roman Empire. Hohenmaster is pulling back his archers. And the pikemen are pretty effectively holding us in this one little choke point here. Funneling in more Guard Marines, though, to try to get in around them. How is Gearhawk doing on his side? Oh, and actually, it looks like we got some of Epirus over here, the Italian mercenaries and the Scutatoi. But Gearhawk is being much more conservative. He's kind of using up his crossbow ammo first before sending in his reserves. A lot of his pikemen are still very healthy. Here comes some more of my Guard Marines over here to try to flank around the Pavis Bergmannen. And we've just got a standoff over on this side, the Lancieri, kind of just blocking in the Emperor's Hairchild and some of his soldiers. We got the King of Jerusalem in here as well. I was really, really happy, though, because I actually caught the gunners unaware, and they still have full ammo. So that was a huge, huge success for my soldiers, even though I sacrificed 2 units of Guard Marines just to get them. But they have broken off the battlefield for good. Oh, I've lost hundreds of men in this one little courtyard here. And I'm trying to pull back because the Dynatoi over here, we're going to try and get a nice charge against these this early period Ossoldner. Let's see how that goes. Oh, they did get their lances out. It might be enough to break the morale, but I doubt it. But I am going to follow in with my Guard Marines to kind of just overwhelm this early period unit here. Very depleted units of pikemen coming to the front lines now to hold them back. Or hold us back, basically. But yeah, this is really all I have left, actually, in the center here, except for my general, which I am bringing in now. All of my other forces are in combat or have been destroyed. And, I've actually got 2 units of Guard Marines over here as well.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
But I think the defenders did very, very well considering. We're actually down to 2,200 and they have 1,000 left. But unfortunately, the King of Jerusalem and Cyprus, his general, is breaking. My Guard Marines managed to cut him down. But now we're having to face the late period Landsknecht, and they are very, very healthy. And we've also got some Hospitaller dismounted Turkopolar, which I forgot to show you guys in the army comps. But they're basically Eastern archers that fight on the Crusader side. If we kind of zoom in, you can see that they are very classic Eastern looking, I should say. But, oh, we've got some more cav coming in over here, trying to get in around. I'm funneling more of my Guard Marines over on this side here. But over here, again, it's just pretty calm. Not much is going on, really. Looks like these Spadaccini, though, are going to be subject to a charge, but it was actually nerfed by his, I think, his own spears.
The general has been killed. Excellent.
I think that's the Jerusalem general. But yeah, down to the last 3 minutes. I'm definitely kind of mobbing my troops here, but as you can see, they are so depleted that I need to keep most of my men together to even just hope to keep the morale high enough. If I switch on the morale of a lot of these, you can see that they're 10, 19, 20. My healthier units are at 84, so that's really good.
The enemy are losing ground.
But yeah, a lot of my troops are starting to waver. I'm quickly getting my general off his ship here. He wants to get his axe wet before the battle is over, but he better hurry up. But down to 1,800 men, they have 800 men, so we only have 1,000 more men than them. So considering we had a 2,000-man lead, very, very well done by the defenders. And it may even be closer by the end of the battle. I was starting to get a little nervous here, especially considering that this is really the last of my soldiers. Go ahead and put this on slow motion here so we can enjoy some of the zoom-ins. And these archers are going to be more effective than usual just because they're backed up by the Landsknecht. Let's try and get into the center here. Looks like we got this Guard Marine here dueling with the Turkopolar, which is probably not how you pronounce it, but it's how it looks to be pronounced. These guys look like assassins, though. They look really cool. Oh, there he goes. He's dead. Very excellent positioning, too, by the Pavi's crossbows. You can see they are obstructed, but they will get a couple of shots into the sides of my Guard Marines here as I try to quickly silence them. But my men's resolve is failing, apparently. But, yeah, there we go. They were going to fire, but I did get them into melee just in time. And as you can see, the very elite Landsknecht have started to break. I don't know if I think that the Emperor's Hairchild is broken. Yes, he has. And the the Despotate of Epirus' general is there to cut him down so that he doesn't escape from the battlefield. But there are a lot of the crossbows left that unfortunately didn't have much use of their ammo. The only thing I would have said to do differently with the defenders is they had to have retreated quicker than they did. They would have gotten a lot of really key units of pikes back into the city center instead of like we saw over here with the great charge of the Epirus cavalry wiping out a fairly healthy unit of Landsknecht. And, again, me slaughtering all of these troops with my Pila before even getting into melee. But all in all, a 3v2, that is nigh near impossible to win. And if we take a look at kind of the final results here, yeah, we only have about 1,000-man lead. So we've really, really paid for this settlement. But we're just kind of wrapping up the last of the crossbows here. We've got some of the Lancieri pushing in to take out that Bombard. Which has 95 kills. I thought it would have gotten a little bit more than that, but And we've got the general over here. Actually, my general's finally making it into combat as well. Let's go ahead and jump down into his view, which is a terrible view because we're like at the back. Here we go.
Men have given up and are running for their lives.
So I think this is kind of a hybrid ranging guard because they do have shields. So they're not like the classic ranging guard that you would see. I think that they're two-handed axes, so these guys are a little bit lighter than that. But yeah, we're going to destroy what's left of these Hospitaller caravan. And you can see that the flag of the Holy Roman Empire is starting to drop in the city center, so we are starting to take it over. And unfortunately, this looks like it's going to be a loss for the defenders. And Epirus is capturing it. So well done to Epirus there. And there we go. Pyrrhic victory. So let's end the replay, take a look at the results. So we'll take a look at Hamdog's forces first. So yeah, you could see a lot of his elite Italian mercenaries not getting many kills. Same with his heavy infantry, but his Anglo-Varangioi did pretty solid, I would say. But his Dynatoi doing really excellent there, and his general as well. Looking at Gearhawk, a lot of his pikes didn't really even see combat, but this unit of pikes getting 200 kills, that's not bad. Same with his Spadaccini, did well. His crossbows, yeah, being very patient, that really helped us turn the tide there. And his cavalry doing well. His general, I don't even think saw combat. And my general just getting in there to get a couple kills before the end of the battle. Italian mercenary, these guys are really cheap, so I'm happy with those kills. The Guard Marines, not so much, though. They really suffered. And the Archer Marines got okay kills, nothing crazy. Looking at Hohenmaster, his Landstedt did really, really well. His Ecochet Footmen doing pretty poorly, some solid, though. His Pavis doing excellent. His Mortar, 258 kills, mostly on the Despotate of Epirus. And then Jerusalem, his Poland Knights, two of them doing pretty solid. Crusader Armati, not too bad. His crossbows doing excellent, and his Bombard getting 95 kills. But yeah, those gunners only 5 kills. So yeah, it's good to be back, guys. I'm really happy to see that you guys are enjoying my content. I'm coming up on 1 year now with the channel. I think that the end of January will mark 1 year, so we're at about 11 months now. So I'm kind of looking for things that I need to do to make things better and to reformat my structure. Maybe there's something you would like to see on my channel that I haven't really covered before. I've had more requests for Third Age, so I'll definitely try to work on that. And also Shogun 2. A couple of people have been wondering why I don't cover Shogun 2 very often, so I could definitely try to get some of that out as well. And super excited for Thrones of Britannia. A lot of guys are asking if I'm going to be covering that. The answer is absolutely. I'll be getting that. I'll be pre-purchasing that for sure, because I'm very excited for a new historical title. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for being so patient. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And I will see you in the next one.